Yo, what's going on, guys? This is going to be my first ever review. So if it's a bit off, a bit clunky and stuff, my bad. Sorry, let me know how you think I can improve and stuff. And the reason why I wanted to start doing these reviews, by the way, of shows is maybe even to have conversations, you know? I talk about a show or something or a movie, and we could talk about it in the comments. I think that'd be a really fun time. Maybe discuss choices that were made in the show, opinions, what you disagree with me. Keep it like respectful, of course, but I think it could be a fun time. And the first show I wanted to do this with was Kenobi. So, Kenobi. I think that the premise of the show is really good. Going 10 years after Revenge of the Sith to see Obi-Wan and what he's up to before the events of A New Hope, I think is really fascinating. And seeing that where that character was at that point after what happened in Order 66 and the duel with Anakin, it's really interesting. And I think that the way they set it up, it was really good. I liked the beginning of it, how we see Obi-Wan. I think it was really a really good setup. And the arc that Obi-Wan goes on throughout the show, I think it was well done. It was fun. It was pretty good. It was just pretty good. Let me talk about, I guess, the other arcs now that I'm on arcs and characters. I think that the new characters introduced, which was Reva, I believe. I don't think there were, no, there was a couple other ones, but the main ones at least. Reva, I think the arc that she goes on is pretty good, actually. I really did enjoy it. I think it was not necessarily well done at the first half, at least. But towards the second half, I really liked it. I think that her character really became less annoying, less like badly written sometimes, I felt, and really shined a bit. I think towards the last half. I think her arc was good though. For the other characters I introduced, I guess young Leia was also in the show. I think that the actor for young Leia I think did great. But a lot of the times she felt a bit too like powerful for an 8-year old. Like a bit too like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, all that stuff. Like I don't know, I felt a bit too much for just an 8-year old. But it's Star Wars, you can suspend your disbelief a bit. I didn't mind it too much, but it was like a small thing, you know? And then we have, I think, the other main characters, which I guess would be Darth Vader. Uh, Vader, I think, is really well done, and I was actually happy on how they did Vader. Some choices that were made by Vader felt off to me, things that Vader wouldn't do, or at least I didn't feel that Vader would do it that way, but I didn't mind it too much. But something that I think they did really well in the show was how they captured Vader's emotion. I think Vader's emotion was really well done because obviously you have the mask, you can't see like the facial reactions and stuff, but they were just shots where it was just on Vader's mask after like an event, and you could really feel it. You could feel the rage. You could feel like the disappointment in those moments. Like it was well done, and I actually was very surprised at how it was done so well. It was very enjoyable, and I'm really happy that they did nail that at least. So these some characters, I was actually really satisfied with the show. What I wasn't satisfied with though was towards the first half of the show, especially. There was a lot of moments where the scenes were very goofy and just didn't feel right and took me out of it. Like for example, there's a chase scene in the first two episodes. I'm not sure if it's in the first episode or the second episode. But there's a chase scene with Leia, and it just felt super goofy because like a branch just stops like a grown man, and it's like it felt too much. I'm not gonna get into spoilers, by the way. I'm not gonna get like into crazy spoilers. Just like little light stuff like that. There was, however, I think the most egregious one of them all is when they are leaving a certain base, and there are two characters that are sharing one giant trench coat, and they just walk out of a highly secured base. That took me out of it. Like, there's a moment where you could suspend your disbelief, like just kind of be like, okay, I guess, fine, sure. That one took me out of it. It felt way too cartoony. It was just off. It was really off. So I had a lot of those problems where it just felt like there was these situations that didn't feel right or felt contrived in a way. but it's stuff that you kind of overlook. It's a little goofy every now and then, but it was whatever. I still had a fun time watching it. I do think that the writing was not done well in the first four episodes either. I think you see a trend here with the first four episodes compared to the last two episodes. The writing felt off as well sometimes. It just felt a little eh. Even some character choices that were made also felt off to me, even with like the other Inquisitors. A lot of them felt more tame. They didn't feel like how I feel like an Inquisitor would be, but that goes into my own opinion, I guess, kind of territory. But I don't know, stuff like that kind of bothered me a bit, but I didn't really mind it too much, just for the sake of the story, and it wasn't too crazy out of line. Not like a trench coat walking through a highly secured base with no one noticing. At the end, though, I think it was fairly. It wasn't well written. It just was. I can't give it much credit. There are moments where it does shine a bit, but overall, no. And all this I have said, by the way, I think applies mostly to the first four episodes. Except the character stuff. Episodes 5 to 6, I really think they stepped it up. I don't know what was. I think there was a different writer. I'm pretty sure. Or even I'm not sure if it was a director or writer, but episodes 5 and 6 really stepped it up. I think that the writing got a lot better. I think that the actual scenes and how things were set up and how it kind of like worked was a lot better. And it was a really fun time. The action. How can I forget the action? Oh my god. The action I think was actually pretty good. When it's not like the chase scenes and stuff, I guess that could be considered some sort of action. But it was like the actual fight scenes. I think they were phenomenal, especially in episodes 5 and 6. Phenomenal fight scenes. I really like was captivated by them and was really enjoying the time that I was spending there watching it. There's one more thing I wanted to mention. There's one more thing. Yeah, fight scenes were good. What was it? Yo, what's going on? It's future me. 'Cause I realized I forgot something, and during the recording, I was saying like I forgot something. I want to mention something. I wanted to say something. I'm like, whatever. I remembered what it was. The music. How could I forget the music? I think the music during the show is phenomenal. I feel like it's when it's Star Wars, they do really well on that part, and I wanted to mention it. I think they did really well on that part. The music was clean. I mean, as always. I mean, that's something Star Wars has really done a good job on. But just wanted to mention that because it is something that I feel like is important and worth mentioning. Is the music was really well done. But yeah. And one thing that did bother me a lot during the show though is the choices that some characters made. I feel like there were choices made by characters that just didn't seem right, especially by Vader and Kenobi, especially towards the later. And I'm not gonna talk about like exact spoilers, but towards the later end, especially, I feel like so many of their choices just did not feel right, and felt like they were more made because we had to continue some sort of plot, or because what happens in episode 4 happens in episode 4. So those parts always felt a bit off to me, and it really like bothered me that they couldn't find a way around that somehow. It felt really lazy. But overall, like, I did find the show fun. I think it was not that bad. But it wasn't that good either, because episodes 1 through 4 weren't that crazy. Episodes 5 and 6 were though. I did find episodes 5 and 6 really fun. So I think overall, I'd give this show a 6 out of 10. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I think a 6 out of 10 is fair. Episodes 1 through 4, which is kind of mid. Episodes 5 was the one that was really great, and then episode 6, just not as great, but still better than 1 through 4. And it was fun. It was fun though at the end. So yeah, 6 out of 10. That's gonna be my final opinion on it, guys. This is my first review of a show. Sorry if it's all over the place and clunky and I'm doing my best. So just let me know what you guys thought of the show and even how I could improve my own review process here. Maybe things that I could change or stuff. I'm probably gonna try to get a bit more organized for the next one. Because I am going a bit more off the top of my head. And yeah. maybe get some notes down before I do another one. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Peace out. See you all in the next one.